What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a pair of battle cards we need to be talking about. They're coming out in Wave 3 of the Transformers trading card game, War for Cybertron Siege. That's what it's called. And I'm a little bit excited. You see, up until now, we'd not been shown any green icon cards from Wave 3, which led us to the question of, well, hang on a second. Does that mean we aren't getting any? Were green icons just for Wave 2? And then, of course, we can go, well, hang on a second, taking this a step further. Does that mean that black icons and Pierce might be for Wave 3 only? Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. Hold your horses. We're fine. We've got some green icon cards to talk about. So, are they any good? Well, we got a pair of them, so let's take them one at a time. Let's start off having a little bit of a look at Backup Bag. I like Backup Bag. Backup Bag has a white and a green icon, which is pretty cool. Means that even though it's got the green icon, which lets you grab out the scrap pile when you flip it while attacking or defending, swap it for a card in your hand. It also is a white icon that helps you while attacking or defending, great pip combination. And it reads, if one of your cards would cause a weapon or armor to be scrapped from the upgraded character, scrap this card instead. Now, when this was revealed, it led a whole bunch of people to go, well, hang on a second, haven't we already had this card? Isn't it spare parts? And the answer is no. There is a huge difference here. Spare parts reads, if an opponent's card would cause a weapon or armor to be scrapped from the upgraded character, scrap this card instead. What that means is that this is spare parts for your own cards. Same pip combination, same real card in all aspects, except it stops your cards being scrapped. Well, hang on a second, when would you ever want that to happen? Now, to be clear, it says scrapped. So, I'm not entirely sure why you would ever want to. But if you played Disarm and you chose your own character, this wouldn't save you. Bit weird, but, would help. The thing is, you may well end up needing this. Now, there are some cards that affect all upgrades on both characters. So, for instance, Salvage for Parts. Salvage for Parts scraps all upgrades on all characters, yours and your opponent's, heals 1 damage from each for each one that you scrap. Incidentally, because this will stop the card being scrapped, it will also stop you healing here. That's fairly important. Here's the thing though. The real niche here, and there are other ways like I've shown you, but the real niche here is cards that would scrap themselves because they're too good. Grenade Launcher. Grenade Launcher gives you +4 attack after the upgraded character attacks. Scrap this card. The thing is, that means a Grenade Launcher is causing you to scrap a weapon. Grenade Launcher. So all of a sudden, Backup Bag comes in and goes, ooh, good point, ladies and gentlemen. Good point. That is why this is so gosh darn good. It means you can have a Grenade Launcher down, giving you +4 attack, but then at the end of your turn, Backup Bag gets discarded, or when you attack, Backup Bag gets discarded rather than Grenade Launcher. And that means that you get 2 attacks. Now, there's nothing to stop your opponent dropping something like a Vaporize to get rid of it, and if they do, they do. But otherwise, this is kind of cool. Now, it is a utility. There are a bunch of other utilities you may wish to play instead. You might be playing spare parts. If you're playing a Dinobot deck, you may be wanting to use something like Jaws of Steel, which, although it boosts your attack, is in fact a utility. So look, maybe you don't want to use this, but there are some good uses. And really, this is a great pair with any card that scraps itself. Now, I've already mentioned Grenade Launcher, but we do have a couple of others. We did have Blast Shield back in Wave 1. Blast Shield is a very nice card that gives you +2 defense and you scrap it when you defend. +2 defense is very high. In Wave 1, the average was 4 attack, 2 defense, so Grenade Launcher in this will essentially double your stats, so there is a very good reason why we would still have this. And then in Wave 2, we got Evasive Maneuvers, which is kinda fun. Gave you Tough Free, which is great, but then you had to scrap it at the end of your turn. And Power Punch, which gave you Bold Free, and you scrapped it at the end of your turn. Incidentally, those cards are just as good as Body Armor and Power Sword, which don't scrap but can only be put on melee characters. These are great, but they go at the end of your turn. This stops them. That's why Backup Bag is good, and there'll be plenty of others. You know, there will be cards that affect all upgrades, and this will protect you. But generally speaking, the best use for this is keeping on upgrades that would otherwise go away. And then we get another card, which again has a green icon. It's Battlefield Scan. Now, this has a black and a green icon, which means that it's green, so after you flip it while attacking or defending at the end of the turn, you may swap a card in your hand for this. But also, it's got PS1. Gives you PS1 until end of turn. I like black icons. Generally speaking, black icon cards have been a little bit weaker, so the designers, I think that pierce through black icons is going to be really good. As with everything, we're going to have to wait and see till we actually play it. Here's the thing, though. It stops your enemies using Brave or Stealth. Brave means that you must attack that character if you can, i.e. if you've got one tapped character on the other side of the field and then there's an untapped one with Brave, you have to go over the tapped. But if they're all untapped, or indeed they're all tapped, you have to go after the one with Brave. Stealth is the opposite. You cannot attack the character unless you don't have a choice. So if it's the only tapped character, you can attack it. But outside of that, you're not allowed. And this turns both of them off. And we've got plenty of characters with Stealth and plenty of characters with Brave. But frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking about Micromasters. Micromasters are coming out in Wave 3 and they're little Diddy Pokemon. And because they're little Diddy Pokemon, they all have Stealth while untapped. So it basically means you can pick your turn. You can wait for a little while, and when it's right, then you can flip into bot mode where there is a tap ability, or you can just about going attacking. So Private Flak, for instance, got a tap ability. When you scrap an orange icon card from your hand, you may play an extra upgrade. But when you're in alt mode, you've got Stealth while untapped. So until you want to either attack or attach an extra upgrade, you keep it in alt mode, you keep it untapped, you've got protection. The problem is, it's a diddy little Pokemon. 7 health, 2 defense, and this is one of the harder ones to KO, because it's a tank. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this means that you can just go after Micromasters whenever you want, and that is absolutely key. Now, there's plenty of other characters. Maybe your opponent's got a Predacon Headstrong, and that's got Brave. Maybe you don't want to attack Predacon Headstrong. Maybe you want to attack Taurox. Maybe you're playing a deck that likes healing and repairing, and you can't do that because Taurox is on the field. Take it down, ladies and gentlemen. Play this. It's a 9 health, 0 defense character. You've got something in your deck that can knock it out. So this is again a really nice card. Now it's a very niche card, because it's only good when you're playing against a deck that has Brave or Stealth. Any deck that doesn't have Brave or Stealth, this becomes useless. But remember, these cards have the green icons. So if you're not playing against Brave or Stealth, just hope you flip it while attacking, so you get Pierce. If you flip it while defending, there's just nothing good about this. But then, if you do come across a deck relying on Brave or Stealth, take advantage of the green icon, and either you draw into it naturally, or you bring it into your hand when you flip and swap a card, because that's what green icons do. And then you go and smash something with Stealth. Or you ignore something with Brave and go and smash one of their other characters. I think both of these cards have utility if you'll ignore the pun. I think Backup Bag, the white icon, is great, and you know if you're playing stuff like Grenade Launcher, so you know whether it's going to be good. Battlefield Scan, not quite as much because you don't know if your opponent is using Brave or Stealth. It could end up being a blank card of a black pip, and that might not be good enough. But you know what decks you're worried about, you know what your local meta looks like, so you are in the best position to make a determination as to whether it's worth it or not. Either way, I'd like to know what you're thinking, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about games like Transformers, but also Keyforge and Pokemon and Final Fantasy. We talk about games and have a lot of fun. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching Wossy Plays.